Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's a Sunday morning. Hopefully, everybody's got coffee. Josh was living the high life a minute ago. He was like in some beach house. I don't know what happened to him, but he is now back in his attic.
My mom's attic.
Yeah, your mom's attic. Yeah, not even yours, just your mom's. Yep.
You gotta give Ma Duke credit. You can't leave her out.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to bring your mom into it anymore. You know, she's been texting us left and right to stop talking about her attic. So, how's everybody going? Welcome to Landscaping to the Point. We got some echoing from somebody over here, but so how's everybody going? Everything going good lately? It's been a long week. We were in Chicago on Monday and Sunday last week. And if you didn't catch the podcast, go back, listen, watch it, or listen to it on Landscaping to the Point. We have just been fun. It's been a long time, Josh. Sorry that you got to duck out before lunch. It was a good lunch. We had a nice what do you call it? Like a eat and meat lunch. It kind of sucked because I didn't get to finish my burrito, but we had burritos and tacos from Chicago. So I mean, you would have liked it. So they know pizza like you
I expect when I go to Chicago is world famous burritos in Chicago.
Yeah, they were good. I mean, it was good. I just didn't get to finish it. I don't know about you, Jensen. I don't know if you got to finish it either. I think none of us really got to finish what we were eating.
No, because I thought we were just going to have lunch and then have meat, but I guess we're cutting out on time. And I ended up taking way too much food. Delicious, but I was taking way too much food, and I felt bad as I ended up like throwing some of it away.
Yeah, it sucked. I really did. I mean, I thought I was going to be able to eat it all. I got that burrito down, but I didn't get the taco down. I think I got like half the taco, and then it was my turn to talk, and it was like, okay, I guess I'm not going to finish this. So, but yeah, it's been an interesting week. Especially since I got back, it's been very interesting. I don't know about you guys, but it is close to the end of 2023. So, what are you guys doing to prepare for next year, prepare for the next season? Because the end of this season is pretty much done. I know, Josh, me and you talked, and is Thanksgiving your last day for any work outside?
Yes and no. It's pretty much the end of the season for us. So Thanksgiving kind of marks that, like that regular work season. And then if we pick, like, I did just get word, like, after I got back from the meet in Illinois, that we were awarded a job, a small one in Cambridge, about an hour from here. So take care of that. But other than that, we're pretty much wrapping up for the season. Like, well, my main guy's going he's going on his honeymoon. We'll be finalizing any repairs on snow equipment and getting that stuff out and more organized. And typically we do that. We're going to try to get any old equipment we're not using. But yeah, Thanksgiving's kind of the cutoff.
Sorry. Yeah, so Thanksgiving is the end of the season for you guys. So we try to go typically to as long as we can when we're here at, our season. I think the latest we've actually gone is the day before Christmas Eve on doing stuff and cleanups. And I think a couple years ago, we did pretty much a landscaping job all the way up to the day before Christmas Eve. So, I feel like in our area, we can do it as long as we have stuff, but we're kind of wrapping up this year. This year, we've actually flew through cleanups. We already started our second round. We have, I think, 2 more residentials that are first rounders, but they don't get second rounds, that are pretty long, tiring, big jobs. So it's going to be very interesting from here on out. So how is it going in your area, JC? What are you doing? I mean, I know you don't do that many cleanups and all that stuff, but have you started cleanups, and how many more you got left to do?
Yeah, I don't have many that I do throughout the year, but I haven't doing them, and it seems like the weather's been coming a lot faster than what your typical end of the season would be for me, at least. But most of it is done. ones that I work on, and right now I'm just kind of doing post clean maintenance as far as just picking up the remaining leaves that are coming down. There's still some trees that have a lot of leaves that haven't fallen yet. So just kind of been doing things like that, and just kind of ready for the end of the year and just kind of relaxing a little bit, I guess.
Nice, nice. It's nice to relax. I think. Do any of you guys do work on the day after Thanksgiving? I mean, I know I used to do it a couple years ago. For the longest time, I used to do it because literally, what is there to do? I mean, I don't shop. I don't go out and shop. I don't want to go out and deal with all that many people. I mean, I hate being in big ass crowds and stuff. So it's kind of one of those things that, you know. But do you guys go out and do anything the day after Thanksgiving? You guys go out and do cleanups or do any work? Josh, do you go to shop and do stuff?
Not anymore. I used to. Honestly, I kind of just. I mean, the kids are off. Like they're off that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I try to at least take Thanksgiving on. Like we'll work up until Thanksgiving Eve till probably about noon or whenever things are done. And then no, I kind of just chill out until that following Monday, man. I mean, honestly, at that point, stuff can wait. Like, there is some pending weather Tuesday, Wednesday, so there's a possibility that maybe Sunday I might creep up to the shop and just touch up a few things. But other than that, no, I put it off. I'd rather spend the time with family.
I agree. I think I've done that the last couple of years. Just kind of let my guys take the time off and just enjoy the 4-day weekend, because literally you go from pretty much snow, leaf cleanup into snow sometimes, and if not, you're getting ready for it and doing other stuff. So it's like I think take your time and relax and recuperate, because literally during a lot of these seasons, when we switch seasons, it's like you're one into the next and you don't have time to take it and just say, okay, I take this time and relax. So that's what we do most of the time. But here's another question I wanted to ask you. So what are you taking from this year, since it's pretty much the end of the season, end of the year almost for everybody? What do you take from this season and to try to make it work into your next season to improve on?
I think this year for everybody's been in a year. Just because of the rain that we've had all over the place, it was kind of a shitty year. Not to do much, but just finding time to be able to kind of catch up some of the stuff that I've been not able to do because of the rain. I just hope that for next year it's a better year. I know a lot of guys are getting to the now where they're getting ready for snow removal and stuff, and it's going to be probably a good year. And people might think differently when it comes to that, but depending on how the weather it was. Kind of right now, I'm getting started on wintering my equipment, making sure I'm storing all my stuff properly, putting stabilizer, running it through the carbs and stuff. But yeah, as far as next year, personally, for me in the direction that I'm going, I'm really sure what my status be for next year. I've talked about that before, but I just hope that it's going to be a better year. It has to be a better year than it was.
I think it will be. Every year, I feel like you can improve on one thing, and being a crappy year for you with this rain and stuff, you can prove that it's going to be a better year and it's going to be sunny next year. So that's the one thing you can look forward to. So, that can always be a positive of saying like, hey, next year it's going to be sunny and I'm not going to have as much rain. And if you get like a monsoon, then I guess we're all screwed. But Josh, what do you take from this year that you could improve on for next year?
There's
getting out of your mom's attic, probably.
The internet connection faded off, and it sounded like something else when you said that. So.
Getting out of mom's attic.
Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, there's a lot, man. There really is. Like, I try to take as much as I can. Like, I flight back from my flight back from Illinois. It's the first time on a flight I didn't purchase the Wi-Fi. I have computer going on, especially being by myself, that I really just kind of sat back and just thought, allowed myself to fully think without any interruption, the phone ringing, anybody next to me, It was nice. So like my biggest thing that I take from this year to work on next year would be tighten up my organizational skills across the board, come up with different systems for myself on a personal level, and then 100% on a professional level. I worked this year on trying to delegate a bit more of tasks. The end of this year, I can tell you for the past, I'll say at least 2 months, I've done almost zero labor, manual labor. And that's a first. I'm usually, I might not do it here, but I'm usually bouncing around. So it's a little weird to not do it. But then I noticed that when I'm not on that job with the shovel in my hand or in a machine, I kind of lose focus on what I should be doing at that moment. So, and there's a lot on the back end I'm trying to do. So I think over the winter, I'm going to come up with new systems for stay a lot more organized, bit by bit, baby steps. But there's a lot that I could work on. But that's probably my biggest thing because that affects me in my personal and professional life.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's I think one of the things like coming back from Chicago, I love driving there and back. It gives me a couple hours to where I can decompress and sit there and think about what I need to do. A lot of times, I know in our business, it probably in your guys is all the time. It's just busy. It's just nonstop hectic, and these trips definitely give me that time to actually sit there and think about what do I want to do for next year. We're looking more towards landscaping, trying to build up our shop. We're looking to try to expand our shop, expand our nursery area, so that way we have nursery. So we're looking at things to try to keep going on a level to where we don't have to go places and get materials. And that's one of our downfalls is just the time frame of getting materials and not having it on hand. And that's one of the things I'd like to improve on for next year is just having all the materials that we need on hand. And it might be a big cost up front, but at least we have it and we can just literally buy what we need here and there. So that's one of the things we're looking at for next year to expand on. So Josh, you got a big yard, and do you keep a lot of that stuff in hand or not? I think we might have talked about this before, but it's like, I know like on your sites, you put a lot of salt on your site, certain sites, correct? Do you keep stuff on it like at your shop, or is it just too far away from any of your snow sites and your plot, any of your work sites?
So at the yard, in the past, no, well, I haven't. It was just too far out from any of the sites. Being as we lost one of our bigger sites this year, those salt bins are now at my shop. Those salt bins they won't be full with 60 yards of salt this year, but we're going to split that between one of the main sites that I'll be out of, and then home base. And home base is going to obviously be a spot for bagged salt for shovelers, calcium, and probably about maybe 20, 30 yards of bulk salt, just to fill the gaps in between. You got to figure it's, we're probably 2 exits up on the highway from our other accounts to salt. So we want to be able to not have to drive back to the base where we store our salt and then go back to home base and then go back to the customers and salt those. So what we'll do is we'll load up with 4 or 5 yards at the main site. So what we do is we call it the hub. The hub is usually where I'm based out of. Most of the equipment's based out of. So the hub will load up the salter or salters, depending on if both of them are going out. They'll start to make their routes. And if, let's say, it's a heavy ice storm or if it's a heavy pack, maybe mild temperatures, then that truck will be able to go back to my yard, which is in the same town as the majority of those smaller accounts, fill up, and then take off.
Nice. That's I kind of see that what you're doing. I mean, a lot of people do that, especially in our area. I mean, our area, there's a lot of spots that you can get salt. So it kind of works out conveniently to where, depending on where I'm at, there's always a salt place by me. We like to try to keep a lot on hand at our own shop, and then we load up at before we head out in the morning, because then usually it's just a madhouse. And then if we need more salt during the day, we just stop at our places and pick up whatever we need. So that's kind of good. I mean, that's good for you to have 2 different spots probably for this year because it helps you out with driving them from place to place instead of probably being all around going back and forth, especially if you're 2 stops on an expressway. That could be a couple what, 10, 15 miles probably. So especially in your
Yeah,
area.
and it depends on the time of day. So where
Right.
we are is right where the merge is to go into Boston.
Okay.
And that, from the hours of 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock, that's backed up. So you're talking a 10-15 minute drive could turn into a 45-minute ride one way, with traffic.
Right.
So that's the whole reason. And I only do that because I have the location already. I have the yard space. I have the salt bins there. So rather than paying, $1,000 to have a flatbed, a low bed come and move those, and then have to set them up, build a shelter on them. They were already at the shop. We figured we'd leave them there. Our hub is one of our more important accounts, so we're going to have salt there regardless. That salt is specifically for that account that's on site. That way, we'll still pick from it here and there, but it's just a lot easier to do that.
Right. That's not bad. So Jensen, do you do any residential sidewalks or anything?
I really do my own. I hate being outside in the snow. Tino was just saying, did my heater break in here? And it didn't break. Number one, I'm just very cheap, and I refuse to turn on the heat right now. And it's cold. So the first thing that cold is my ears. So I usually cover up my ears so I get a hat. But no. To get to your question, I don't do any snow removal or snow work, and I hate being inside. I got Caribbean blood in me. I'm not made for the cold weather. I did initially consider it the first year that I was in business. I actually gave Josh this little trailer tab that you could put a snower on there and stuff. And what I was doing is I was transporting my snowblower from my house, and then I'd go and do my mom's way, and then take care of maybe a friend or two that need a hand or whatever. And I'll be like, well, maybe this is something I could do, shovel. But no, I mean, if I really was needed the money, I guess I would. But not that I'm filthy rich, because I'm not. But if I was desperate, I'd do. Of course, I'd do it. But it's just it doesn't work for me. I like being inside during the winter. I can't do it.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. I mean, it's getting to the point where I'm kind of rather be inside too. I kind of hate it when I go out, and especially when it's really negative degrees and you're out there, you get a little chilly. But I feel like it's money, it's an income. I don't want to lose some of our income that we get from a lot of our other customers. But we actually have reduced down in the last couple of years and condensed down. Actually, this year we are now condensed down. All our commercials are pretty much all together except for two. So it's a little bit easier for us, and then all our residentials are really close all around. So for me, I guess I can't not plow, but it's easier to be close together if you can be close together, especially if you have a tighter route like that. So that's always good. And here I wanted to touch on this because I just seen something the other day, and Stan Genetic posted it, and it's some kind of like half gate thing. I don't know if you've seen it yet or if you've gone to any of his pages, but you got to check it out, Josh. I know we do snow, so this might be something. It's kind of like the ramp rack, but it's half. So what it does is it has half half of it's a ramp that folds up, kind of like the ramp rack, and then the other half is actually for a salter. So you can put it on the back of a pickup or on the back of a flatbed and be able to put up your spreaders, your salters, or whatever salt, snow blowers, and still be able to go out, salt a parking lot, and not have to move, take it off the back of the salt spreader or anything like that. So, that's definitely, the price is kind of high compared to like a ramp rack, but it's definitely something that it'd be interesting to have, because I know, do you have now, Josh, do you have a separate crews that go out with the snow and with the sidewalks? You do. I know that you had told me that before. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank today, but do you have them go with the snow blowers in a pickup or a truck or a trailer?
There are so what I do is I have a condo. Let's call it a downtown area, right? I have a condominium that's in the center of a downtown area that we take care of. And around that condo, we have like several banks and little storefronts. So for that area in particular, at the condo, we leave a snow raider and we leave a snow blower. More or less, they'll cover that area. One guy will cover that area with the snow raider or snow blower, whatever's available at that time. and then another guy will hit it with the stairs, hit the stairs with the shovel. But for the most part, the sites that are there's maybe one or two sites that are outside of that area. They go and they hit with they hit with shovels. So
Okay.
to answer the question, it's like a truck with a snowblower. Like I just bought a Ford Ranger to give to a sidewalk crew, but I don't see them needing to put a snowblower in there. And at that point, yeah, they probably take one of those like small one stage Honda snowblowers and throw them in there with some shovels. But the way that I have it set up is, like Donnie said in the comments, route density is so important with snow as it is with mowing too. It is, and that's why we do that so that you don't have to haul a ton of equipment.
I see. Okay. So I get it. And then I know you had said you left a lot of the stuff on site, so it's probably easier if you can leave it on site and not having to transport it from site to site. So that's easier that way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see no problem with that. I mean, it'd be nice if I could leave all that stuff on site, especially at all our commercial properties. I'd rather, not have to move it, but I more look at like, would I get robbed? Would I, come back and my snow blowers be gone, my snow radar be gone, or especially in my area, I feel like it's one of those hit or miss. But how do you prevent that from happening?
How do you prevent your equipment from being stolen?
Yeah, how do you prevent it? I mean, I do you now? Okay, you're saying you have like skid steers and all that stuff on site sometimes. How do you prevent somebody just come up in there and take it? I mean, do you have like what do you call those things? Like the GPS trackers or whatever the heck they are. I mean, I had one of those things on our truck for a while.
I have them in the skids, but like my loader doesn't. But no, I mean, you just use common sense. Like you try to lock things up and kill switches where you can have them, like battery shut off switches. I mean,
okay.
Look, I mean, shit's gonna happen. If shit's gonna get stolen,
Right.
It's gonna get stolen. People find a way to do it. I mean, dude, I did fuck shit back in my day. You know what I mean? You find your way around, obstacles to steal shit. Like, am I nervous? Like, this is the first year the snow rate is gonna go up into that condo area and stay there. It's gonna get chained up. Is there a possibility that it could get stolen? Yeah, but at the same sense, I make sure that I have individual coverage on all my shit on my insurance policy too. Not that that's not a pain in the ass. That during a snowstorm you show up and some fucking asshole steals your shit. But I mean, shit happens. I mean, what are you gonna do? You roll with the punches. But I do what I can. Things get chained up, keys out, battery kill. We have battery kills, but it's now where my new skids are and my loader is and my expensive equipment. That's in a utility company that is like Fort Knox. Like you got to go through security to get through. Yeah, like I'm not worried about that. Like this camera's every other which way, so that I'm not worried about. The stuff that's uptown, it is in a more affluent area. That's not to say that you don't have these snow pirates that drive around and steal shit. I've caught in snow pirates when I worked with other companies trying to steal our shit. They try to steal doors off skid steers. They steal shovels. They steal shovelers when they show up to steal your shit. Yeah, so it'll happen.
Jeez, man, I it's one of those things I'm always worried about sometimes. I've been robbed before, like Nick said, pretty much a horse and buggy got robbed. So I mean, it's kind of hard when you get your horse and buggy robbed. You can't do nothing.
But here's a question for you guys, anybody that listens, like on your insurance policy, are you actually submitting like serial numbers and photos of the equipment so you get that coverage? It's legit. It's pennies on the dollar for certain things that it's worth just filling out. And obviously you can't go in and say, yeah, I got this 2018 Snow Raider that's worth, $27,000. It's not what you paid for it; it's what you would pay for it. That's how you have to look at it. Like, is that thing valued at $5,000? Even if it's valued at $5,000 and it's going to cost you $30 a year to put it on your insurance policy, it's worth doing it.
Right. I agree with you. I think that's something that every year you should be going through. We go through once a year and just kind of go through all the equipment, take pictures, serial numbers. If we don't have it no more, we get it off the list, and then we submit the list into our insurance thing, because every year you're buying new pieces of equipment or updating stuff. So you got to make sure that you have that on hand. I think with insurance, one of the things, especially when I got robbed, it was like I had to have all that stuff, and luckily I had a lot of that stuff. But sometimes it's hard to claim everything, and insurance is gonna bite you teeth and nail. Yeah. Can't claim
Josh
things
doesn't,
I get.
Josh doesn't
Yeah.
claim anything. It's all stuff he took from other people.
I was gonna say, you
Yeah.
can't claim it if the serial numbers are scratched off.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Nick. You can't claim stolen stuff. It's kind of hard. It's very hard to steal stuff and then try to claim it.
Hey, I got a feel good story. I wanted to text you guys about last night, but I forget to save it for the podcast.
Okay.
And this is sometimes when like I'm like, all right, maybe I do some shit right and help other people.
You always do shit right. Come on.
No, not at all, not at all. If you want fuck up stories, I'm the guy to go to. So Saturday night, it's like 9:00. I'm walking to the corner store with my daughter. I see a truck in my driveway, so I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I go back. I hire, rather than using the city trash, I hire a private company to take my trash. I'd rather give it to a small
really
guy.
Rich.
No, honestly, it's a lot cheaper than the city, and it's like it costs me, it's like $40-$50 a month to use this guy versus
That's cheaper than
100
mine, dude. Yeah,
Huh?
I'm gonna come get I'm gonna come get garbage from you.
Dude, it's
Like
a
my
buck a
garbage is
bag.
like
It's a
$50
buck
a
a
month.
bag. It's a buck a bag for the trash bags
Oh
out here.
wow,
So on
that's
a
expensive.
bad month, yeah, it could cost me upward of
So-
$150.
a lot more than a buck for a bag.
Yeah, right? Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just assuming it's something like that. So this guy, I figured this guy helped me out. He trucked some stuff out of my house for me with this dump truck. So anyway, it's 9:00 at night. I walk back there. I said, dude, what the fuck you doing? It's 9:00 at night on Saturday. He's like, I got to catch up, man. I got to make this money, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but it's 9:00 at night on a Saturday. I really don't want you on my fucking property, And we, long story short, we get to the point talking. He's like, yeah, I got to do this. He goes, I'm not, I'm having a hard time affording my truck payment, my dump truck. He goes, I'm thinking I'm going to get rid of it. So I stopped. I said, why would you get rid of your truck? I said, your truck is your bread and butter. I said, you're doing junk out, you're doing your landscaping, you're doing your trash. He's kind of one of those jack of all trades. He does the landscape, anything outside he'll do. So we're talking. He's like, yeah, it's just inconsistent. People drop off, people drop on. And I don't want to get into the whole, like, let's set up something, that you have accounts for all these people. But I go, you need some guaranteed money every month. You want to try to get $3,000 or $4,000 in guaranteed money every month. He goes, oh man, that's tough. I don't think I could do that. Not out here. I'm like, it's possible to do it anywhere. And he's like, well, I got this phone call from this business. And, they said that some guy fucked them over and they need someone to come in to handle their cleanup and the leaves. I said, boom, stop right there. Stop right there. I said, just what you told me right there, Pot, but rings a bell in my head. These people are kind of desperate. It's a business. What type of business is it? Some sort of hospitality business. It looks like it might be like some, not a hospice, but like after rehabilitation when like an elderly person falls, they go into this place. It's like a pre-release or something like that. I don't know if pre-release is the right phrase for it, but so I listened to the voicemail, look at the email, we look in the property online. This is all within like probably 20, 30 minutes. We look it up. I jot down some numbers of where I think he should be. He doesn't know how to price for the year. Which I go, dude, let's take 30 mows for the year. Take that 30. Take that 30 mows, and get your number and multiply that. Take your spring and fall cleanup, what you think it would cost. Bump 10% on that so you have what you need. Your gutters, all that stuff. And let's come up with a number. We come up with a number, and we added like a snow. It's a small driveway. It's like a 4-car driveway. We added all that in. If he was able to give her a contract, a 12-month contract with 10-month payments, he'd be able to bring in roughly about $1,500 a month, right? So we told him, this is how you present it, blah, blah, blah. I don't hear from him. I'm sorry, this is Friday night, right? So Saturday night, last night, he texted me. He wants me to meet him at the bar because he went down, he talked to the woman, and he got an account, and they negotiated that he would be at $1,000 a month for 10 months. So we got the contract. And I just throw this out there for like young guys that are struggling. Like, don't sell your fucking equipment. Don't sell your skid steer. Don't sell your mower. Don't sell your truck. I know it's hard. And sometimes you're like, yo, it's the end of the year. I'll sell my mower for $1,000. It's not worth it, man. Like, this guy was about to sell a truck that he bought for $26,000. That if he had to go rebuy that, the same exact truck, it's probably $10,000 more than what he paid for it the first time. He sat back. He relaxed. He talked to someone, and he's able to get that $1,000. So now he has that $600 a month truck payment covered, plus $400 to put in something. Now this guy is going to be motivated as fuck to go out and try to sell some stuff. He also was put into a position where a company was kind of desperate that they needed to clean up the property. They sell themselves based off their image. So same thing I do. If someone calls me in like January, well, my contractor just screwed me for snow. There's a snowstorm going on right now. It's like, yeah, listen, I'll come over, I'll help you. But it's a 2-year signed contract on the spot. This is what it is. That's the only way I'm going to go and do it. I'm going to get paid for it. You know, so
did he sign it? Did he get him to sign for 2 years, or did he get him to
he
sign?
got him to
just
sign
1
for
year?
1 year. He didn't go for the 2 year. He didn't want to push him. So he's very like he's new to the pricing and stuff. Like he's new to business. He's a good guy. He works his ass off, works really hard, but he just doesn't have the business aspects of it, which I get. That doesn't come from everybody. He's grit. He was a laborer. He's getting it done. But that's how you get stuck in that fucking cycle of constantly just chasing your tail and running around. And you can do that when you're business savvy too, where you're constantly just chasing that coin to catch up. He just needs to make sure that those bills, that nut is covered every month. And just look by that one account that's probably going to take him 20 minutes a week to mow. It's going to take him probably 10 minutes to fucking mulch. To plow. And then he's got small variables where he can get the fertilizer that's not included. He can get little extras like painting or the trash that he does. He didn't even sell him on trash. So there's little extras there, but he has that guaranteed money a month. You're going to tell me that he and anybody else listening to this contract can't find 4 people out of all the inquiries you get to guarantee that money, whether it's $400 for the season. Listen, when I did residential plowing, I used to go out and try to aim to get 50 customers. Out of that 50, I tried to get 10 to 20 that would give me $500. Smaller driveway, so I wasn't losing my short. I would look for someone from like a 2 to 3 car driveway where I'd say, hey, for $500-600 for the season, I'll call them unlimited. There's no cat, no nothing. And yeah, I would have probably generated like $3,000 to $5,000. I don't remember exactly what I was getting, but let's say $3,000 to $5,000. That's $3,000 to $5,000 for startup cash for the winter in my pocket. Not to mention the variable of what I get per push and then the salting. So, I kind of was like, all right, like I was really motivated last night. I was like, all right, I feel good. Like I actually helped this dude out. Like he keeps his truck. He gets the idea of how to do it. He's trying to hang out with me and bring me down to a bar at like 1 o'clock in the morning, but I'm like, that's not my thing. But, he'll come back and I'll work with them a little bit more. And this is the type of shit you need in this industry where like, don't be so tight-lipped. Every guy on the chat right now has been in business for a while. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't be so tight-lipped when it comes to certain numbers. You don't have to tell people what you're making, but when you're giving people an example, give them a legitimate example of what they need. Like I threw numbers at this guy of what I would probably charge for this. Again, my numbers don't reflect where I live because the market dictates differently down here. So just, be open with these fucking people because that goes a long way. Because now what that does is that guy is setting the trend where, now I see where things cost and where it goes. And he can set that market rate if he starts talking to other people and does the same thing. So open your mouth and talk to people. Give them good advice.
I think we all should. I mean, I feel like a long time ago, everything was very quiet. Nobody wanted to talk anything about anything, And I think now the green industry has kind of gotten better about it, but there is still a lot of people that don't want to tell you anything. They don't want to
because they're trying to fucking sell the same information that's going around.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. They're trying to see something
like,
that doesn't work.
Right. You got to look at it like you have to look at this. I'll tell you this. In our area, there's probably like 300 lawn and landscape guys. Okay. There's enough houses to get enough work for everybody to do. Okay. Yeah, you might not get that grass for that person. You might not get that mulch for that person, but you can get something out of somebody. It depends on what you want to give them. And and customers will eventually come around and say, "Hey, so you do this? Oh, so you do this?" I got customers still that like most of my customers are at least 10 years old, but some of my newer customers are like, "Oh, wow, you do that? I didn't know you did that." So I'm going to have you do that now because they've seen how good of service we do from the past. But I'm willing to go out and talk to people also and tell them, like, hey, I had a kid, 2 weeks ago pretty much asked me like, hey, I'm newer in the game. I'm out in Maumee. I'm looking for a price on a driveway. Can you help me out? And I'm like, I said, dude, just if you want to get into it, you got to go door to door. Go door to door, knock on it. I said, this is what you want to be at least $50 a driveway. Go over there, tell her what you're looking for, and you get it. He literally came back a week later and said, hey, I got my first job. Thanks. And you got to be able to give out some information to help these kids out or even to help anybody else out. I mean, I think that's
and here's the thing. This guy probably has 8 years on me.
Right.
An age. He just didn't know how to do it. He didn't know the approach to take. I've taken that.
You are old, so I can see that. He's got to be in his least 60s or something, probably.
I look good for 60, baby.
But I think that's what we do, and I think that's what we are all trying to do in the green industry. Some of us are. Some of us aren't trying to sell them on our business. You know, like, hey, you know, I'll give me $1,400 a year, and I'll tell you what to do. But I think there's a lot of us, you know, especially us three that are in the EMB that want to give back, and take our time and actually willing to talk to people. And I commend you on it, Josh. I commend you on it, JC. I know you've done it before, and everybody that's been in the group, like, they all are there to talk to people and help out as much as they can. And that's what we should be doing.
90% of that 90% of that paid information you're getting is already available out there. It's all recycled content. Like, look, not to knock, but like, you know, a certain guy in the green industry that, you know, wrote a book, you know, about how to be an expert. You know, this fucking guy takes most of his quotes from Dave Ramsey. You know, that shit's fucking free on his podcast. That's what I'm saying. Like, most information you're going to get recycled because it's worth, but it's how people are presenting it. When you have someone that's spitting an image that they're not, how can you take that information when that person hasn't executed the fucking play?
Right.
You know, that's the issue.
Let me ask you this. We're going to go straight to this. So let me ask both of you this. If there was a book out there from somebody that's been in the business, say 5 years, and there's a book out there from somebody that's been in business for 25 years, which book would you buy first?
It depends. It really depends.
Yeah,
my first instinct would be to go to the guy from 25 years. But that guy from 25 years, I don't know if he's successful. It's not necessarily time in it, but it's like method and execution.
But how do you consider successful? Because successful could be any way you look at it. The guy could be successful by just, you know, doing what he loves and does. You know, it doesn't mean that he's you know, you don't have to be a millionaire to be successful.
I didn't say millionaire. The verbiage didn't come out of my mouth for millionaire. It's more or less success is that if you got a guy that's doing what he's got to do and he's happy and he's going at it, it's great. But if you're constantly hitting fucking different avenues of revenue stream, that's just a bench for me. It's just looking. Go ahead, JC. I'm sorry.
I changed over my microphone. I don't know if it's still echoing. Is it issues with that?
Not too bad.
No. Yeah, so I was just basically going to say the exact same thing Josh said about having that person that's 5 years in the industry and someone who's 20. Is it bad?
It's coming back.
It's coming back. I don't know what it is.
Everybody thought it was me. That's the funny thing.
Well, I don't know what's gone. So, but yeah, I just it depends.
Okay.
If they've been 25 years in industry, I've done this and this and this and this and this. Maybe there's a lot of failed attempts, and now writing a book is their next venture. You know,
right? But maybe they're trying to express how their business is run and tell people their backgrounds, like their mistakes. Which really, a mistake is not a mistake; it's a learning lesson, and a lot of people need to learn.
If you haven't learned from it. If you have not learned from the mistake and you write a book and sell it, how can you write a book on advice if you haven't taken your own fucking advice? You're using someone else's advice. Maybe this person has. How do you know this person has? Have a learning disability that you can't fucking execute it. There's a problem that you shouldn't be giving people advice.
Right. Well, maybe they don't have a learning disability.
Look, a lot of the advice I give is based off mistakes that I've made, right? And with those mistakes, I'm running a successful business. I'm not done. It could drop off at any moment, right? I'm going in the right direction. I don't consider myself successful, right? I'm on the progress from there. But I think when someone sits down and talks to me, I can, when I talk and I explain to you scenarios and case studies of why I'm reasoning, you're going to understand that I've been through it and I've done it. When I look at someone or I read a passage from someone that's literally quoting a fucking book word for word, that's a problem for me because now you're just out for a buck. You're a fucking sleazeball. That's where it comes in. And this could be anyone. This isn't just like those Paul Jamesons of the world, the Brian. Yeah, I know. I'll put names on blast. And those guys are good at their hustle. They're really good. Right. But when you're constantly repeating, like I said something to Mike Bedell, I'm like, Mike, I feel like a lot of your group gets their information from you and they recycle it, you know? And again, I'm going to say to them in my face, most of this information is recycled anyway, but it is the person that's giving it to you. Have they executed it correctly where they're running a business that is progressing? Are they in that business? Or are they just giving you information to sell it?
Right.
That's like me. I'm gonna tell you how to sell fertilizer. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I don't like fertilizer, but I guarantee you, I can bullshit my way around it, and you can believe me that I'll do it. That I do it, and I can make a fucking fortune on it. And I've never put a piece of fertilizer down in my life. That's what you have to watch out for. So when you network and you look for mentors, obviously read between the lines. Look for bullshit artists.
But I also think that like when that information is out there, it's yeah. I feel like it's easier to talk to somebody that has proven, like you said, has done the work. I think if they've done the work and can tell you what might help, but it's kind of hard. It's like, especially like fertilizer. It's one of those things, like every state is different. You can't just try to sell somebody on a fertilizer, course and you're going to pass. It's one of those things that you have to go through some of them and experience the work ethic and go through it and do it before you actually sell somebody on it.
You know what a good example is someone that doesn't, and I don't know what his status is because I haven't watched this stuff in a long time. But there's a kid, he's out by you. I think his name is Nichols or
You come up with all these guys' names sometimes I've never heard of.
No, I'm going to tell you because I think the guy's a good example of someone, if you follow, you learn something through Nickens Lawn Care.
Okay. Yeah.
Nickens, I don't know if you ever heard of him.
I think he's between me and Chicago, I think.
Yeah, so like that like he's a young dude, young family, I think. And you can see the progression of his business and the mistakes he's made. But I feel like that's someone, if you're in that area and someone you can talk to, like there's social proof that he has it. I'm sure like when the wording that he uses, it's there where you understand, you can believe it. He can give you examples of how he failed. Scott, I'm sure you could do the exact same thing. If someone in your industry comes up to you in your town, you can explain to them and use certain scenarios where they can relate in that town. Well, hey, like the 7-Eleven or the CVS right there when I used to plow that back in 1959, fucking blizzards, da. They can relate 59. To it. I just
how old do you think I am? 59. What the
50s, maybe 50s.
I don't even think they had plows back in 59, dude.
Maybe not in Amish country.
I don't think we had plows back then, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I really do.
But I won't take up the time on this subject. It's just something that rubs me where it's like, I get it, like who you get it from. I don't like see kids getting misinformation or men in general that are trying to progress their business, getting information from people that don't actually execute the advice they're giving.
Correct. I understand. I agree with you. And that's a good point.
Like, so, I'm not gonna go do a seminar on how to be an EMT.
So what are you eating on Thanksgiving? Here's the important question of the day. I think this is the most important question. What are you having on Thanksgiving?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh my gosh, Josh.
No.
JC.
Turkey.
Yeah, I'm having turkey. Are you not having turkey, Josh? I mean, you're probably having salmon or vegetables, probably, right?
I'll have vegetables, but I don't know if we'll do like turkey or meatloaf or something. I like to switch it up and shit.
Okay.
I cook lasagna at nighttime. That's a tradition. So like my background is Irish Italian. So my grandmother, when we were younger, she would have traditional turkey dinners during the afternoon. Right? Come in, you have all the fictions, traditional turkey. And then at nighttime, you'd have like that Italian dinner with like meatballs, sausage, and lasagna.
Okay.
Right. So you get fish for Christmas or something?
Fish for Christmas usually is what people do. I'm not a big fish guy.
No. Okay. So anything special that you guys make? Or I know like in our household, pretty much we used to go to all the like one family all at one point. We kind of got away from that a couple years back. But we each used to bring our own special dish. So do you guys have any special dishes that you make especially for, I mean, you said you made lasagna afterwards, but is there anything that you make with the turkey and all that stuff?
I actually make the turkey myself, and then I bring it over to my family's house, and then do like the mashed potatoes and the basic stuff. My sister, she makes like a sweet potato casserole. It's awesome. Yeah.
Nice. That sounds good. Josh, you got anything special you and your family makes or anything besides the lasagna? No, you don't. Nothing.
My wife does some stuff. My wife does like some creams and stuff, like some squash creams. But me, I'm basic, bro. Green beans, mashed potatoes, cranberry slices, it's got to be the can cranberry slices. It can't be no fancy real shit. It's gonna come from the can.
So do you just eat plain green beans or like green bean casserole?
Nah, plain green beans.
Okay.
Salt and pepper.
Corn.
Very basic.
Corn.
Huh?
Corn.
Oh, corn, dude. My plate at any holiday would typically be like a turkey, a slice of cooked roast beef, mashed potatoes. So I'm making myself fucking hungry now. Green beans, corn, and the cranberry, and I would mix all those veggies and everything up, man.
Okay. So we have turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, what else? Crescent rolls, green bean casserole. We make a dish that has been in my family for years, which is like a noodle, sauerkraut, and mushroom dish. We eat that. Then we usually I make a pineapple cheesecake, and then we also have like apple pie.
Pineapple cheesecake.
Yeah, pineapple cheesecake. It's one of the things that's been in my family for years, and it got passed. My grandma passed it down to me, and I've been making it ever since. So
wait, you know what? Hold on. While we're talking about food, shameless shout out here. And I don't know if I'm supposed to do this, but Scott's daughter makes these cookies. And holy fucking shit! When I tell you, I forgot I had these, and I was doing some computer work one day, and I reached into my bag for a pencil, and I go, "Oh man!" And I'm a sweet head. Like I love sweets. Like I've lost teeth to cavities because I like sweets so much.
Right,
man. I bit into this. I was like, "Holy shit!" If I had a box, like I shared it with my youngest, and I wouldn't give her any more than half of it. So,
I didn't give anybody. I ate all three of them.
When the time comes and you guys see Scott post about his daughter's cookies, do not hesitate to order more than you should. Because if you eat Girl Scout cookies, these are Girl Scout cookies on steroids, dude.
They have to stay with the mint Oreos. They have to. Dude.
Oh God! Oh my God! Oh,
the mint ones were good. Well, we just tried some yesterday. She just made a batch yesterday. I posted it with you guys. She made a batch yesterday. It was a coconut cream Oreo with the mint frosting, mint chocolate. So, dude, it was good.
Put it this way: when the mint Oreo, my favorite ice cream is mint chocolate chip. I'm one of those people, so that was like fireworks going on.
Yeah, I found out what Josh is going to Thanksgiving.
You have ham.
His phone's echoing too much. I can't.
Everything's echoing at his house. It's just a whole coldness over there. But yeah, she's gonna get. Don't worry, I'll let you guys know when she does have it because she will be starting her own shop, and we'll be selling it online and shipping. So, it's gonna be very, very good. Yeah, see, you'll be able to ship it right to your wife and be like, "Here you go, honey, I got you something." But I'm gonna go ahead and eat it.
Girl Scout cookies from some annoying kid you don't even like in your neighborhood or your family. You don't buy cookies from Scott's daughter. You're a prick. You're a prick.
The white chocolate or whatever that was with the mint is amazing.
Yeah, that was just plain white chocolate. Just plain white chocolate.
Bro, that was bomb, dude.
I'll tell you what, she has been one of this ever since she turned 12. She's been into baking cakes, decorating cakes, doing cookies, and she's just, she became a state representative, doing cake decorating. She's just awesome about it. And she's actually going into a culinary class this year for her last 2 years of high school. And so she is learning, dude, she cooked me a steak right when she first started. Oh my gosh, she made the best steak ever. So just watch out. I mean, it's going to be some real good stuff. Yeah, you're trying to videotape us. We ain't going to talk no more. No. Oh, you drop out? I see how it is. Drop out.
He's been out. High school.
My laptop battery's dying, so I didn't want to shut off in the middle of this conversation. I want to find the details about the cookie.
Cookies are coming. I know the name of the business.
Scott. That was messed up. You teased us with those 3 cookies, and you're like, you hook, line, and sinkered us.
Dude,
that's the whole point. I think everybody that ate them enjoyed them. The only one I haven't heard from is Henry. So I don't know if Henry just like didn't say nothing about it or what.
But you got to remember, so Henry's a fucking candy critic. So he has it in it. When
It's probably going to end up on some YouTube page or his separate Instagram page that'll be like, look at these cookies. These are very good.
Someone sent me his page, and that's what it is. It's YouTube or IG, and he sits there and he packaging and all.
Yeah.
Dude, you straight up like a crack dealer. Like you gave free samples. Like hey, here's some of this. Come back if you want some. Let me know.
That's the whole point of it, right? That's how I reel them in. See,
get them hooked.
See, I'm trying to reel you guys all in. See, I'll tell her thank you. It was very good. I'm glad. Don't worry, your fiend will come. I already got. I got a first order. I got one lady. She wants it some more brought back to Chicago when I come back to Chicago next year. So, so I already got the first order in.
I just realized what you're talking about.
Yeah, she was very excited about them. So don't worry. And as soon as I can start shipping them, and we're gonna be bringing them to you guys left and right. So you guys can sit there and eat them. And I know Josh is not gonna give any to his wife. He's gonna.
Bro, I was there. I was sitting in my living room. I had stayed home. I come home early that day, and I was like, I went in there, and they heard me. My kids were in the other room doing homework, and I go, "Oh!" And they go, "What?" I'm like, "Nothing." Like, okay. And then finally, like, I go to I couldn't hold it. Like my other kid, that's a sweethead. I was like, "You got to try it," and she was like, "Oh, let me get the fuck out of here!" No, like, go away.
That's awesome. That's very awesome. So this week's Thanksgiving. So thank everybody for some turkey. If you haven't found your turkey, hurry up and get it before he gets arrested for foul play, because you never know when he'll get arrested. Okay, so definitely make sure you grab that turkey now before he gets arrested. Okay. So how's everybody going? We are going to have a great week this week. Thank you guys for being on. Thank you for enjoying our show. The end of 2023. Next time we'll recap the whole year. We're going to talk about some real good fun stuff, hopefully. And we'll all see you guys later.